Hello and welcome to this mytrbk tutorial, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add guests and manage the guest list. And for the first time in this video series I've actually got two browsers open. I've got Google Chrome, which is me signed in as a tour manager, and I've got Firefox, which is me signed in as me, a tour member. So we're going to see what we do between there. Ignore this tour here, that's actually my next upcoming tour. But for now, we're going to be working on this tour here, which is the one that we've been setting up in the previous tutorials. So I'm going to go to this here and click on guests, and signed in as me, not the tour manager, I'm going to request some guests for one of the shows. So let's say I'm going to click on Hammersmith Apollo, and I want to request my very good friend Dave Phillips. And I want him to have 2 tickets and 2 passes, and they're going to be after show passes, and the notes for that I'm going to put in there, he's my friend, and I'm going to click there on save. And now you can see I've got in pending requests that particular request that I've just submitted. So if I now go over here to Google Chrome, I'm signed in as the tour manager. We can see we've got this little 1 appeared here because my guest list request has appeared for a tour manager to approve. And as you can see here, request 1, and you can do 3 things. You can either approve it, deny it, or move it to a waiting list. So in this case, I'm going to approve it. We'll click on approve, and there we go. It's now on the list. If you want to see guest lists for each day, you can select the day. So at the moment, this is the only one that's got a guest list. So I'm going to go to that Hammersmith Apollo gig. So we can edit this entry, that's no problem. And I'm going to make it 3 tickets and 3 passes and click save. And that's all updated. So let's say we want to add a new guest list entry as the tour manager. Well, we can pick the day we want, and we can click there and go to add, and the guest name for this one I'm going to make James Cummins, and I'm going to request, it's me that's requested it, and I want 2 passes, 2 tickets and 2 passes, both after show, and I'm going to put Dave's other mate as a note. You don't have to include notes obviously, but I'm just doing it for this example. And we now have 2 guest list entries, and because it's the tour manager adding it, it doesn't need approving. It doesn't appear in the requests, it just goes straight in there. And let's say you want to delete a request, well, you can click on edit and click on delete, and that will get rid of it. If you want to print this guest list, so you can print it out and take it to the box office, for example, you can click on print there, and it will bring up a printable version of that guest list for you, nicely formatted. And if you want to see what individual tour members have requested, you can go, for example, Chris Gadd, well, there's no guest list for him. Me, oh, there's the 2 that we put in. Jason, nothing. So it's a good way of being able to see what tour members have requested. I've also got over here the options, so we can see all the different tour members. If you want to stop someone requesting a guest, so let's say I want to stop Chris Gadd, our drummer, requesting a guest, I can click there and he can no longer request guests, but that's pretty nasty, so I'm going to turn it back on again. And down here we've got tour pass types, so when people request passes, the default ones in the system is AAA, access all areas, after show, photo, VIP and working. But let's say you wanted to add in something else, say a video pass, because they're going to be videoing. So we're going to click add there, and you might want to see almost AAA, which basically means they can access everywhere except the dressing rooms, which when you're adding a guest list entry will appear now in the pass type. So you can add in your own custom pass types if you want. I'm going to delete these ones that I made because I don't want them. And under here, the final option in the options section is the email option. So by default, it doesn't email you guest list requests. It doesn't say give you any kind of prompt for the guest list request. It will just come up in the app when you log in. But if you want them emailed, you can click on email guest list requests, and then you can add additional emails in here. So let's say you had multiple people that you wanted to be able to approve guests. You could put their email address in there and it will email all of them. Okay, final thing on this, I'm going to go back here to Firefox where I'm signed in as me, not the tour manager. And we can see here I've got approved requests. So now it's got both of those there. Now let's say I'm going to request something for a different day. I'm going to request for Birmingham. And my guest name for this is going to be Paul Bonney. And he wants 8 tickets, and he wants 8 passes, and he wants them all to be access all areas. And I've put in, please sort out my mate Bonnie. Well, you as a tour manager might look at that and think, do I really want 8 people wandering around backstage all day? I don't know, I might have to deny that request. So here we are in requests, and I'm going to look there and I'm going to go, you know what? No, I'm not going to allow that. So I'm going to click on deny. And that guest list request has now been denied. And if I go back to here, that's now in pending requests. But if I refresh the page, it now says denied requests. So unfortunately, I didn't get my way with Bonnie, but never mind. See you in the next video.